The last ever episode of the original Digimon series was on the 26th of March 2000. It's been 20 years and 11 days between the final episode of the original Digimon Adventure series and the first ever episode of the Digimon Adventure Reboot 2020. It is exactly 7,316 days between the two episodes. So yeah, it's been a while to say the least. Tai getting transported not into the digital world but the internet world. Greymon debuts in the new Digimon reboot. What are Matt and Garurumon doing in the internet world? And also the American military. They are under a cyber attack by a Digimon. But which Digimon? These are some of the highlights coming out of this episode, so let's go over the good, the bad and the ugly in the first episode of the Digimon Adventure 2020 reboot. Starting off with the good. Overall, this episode was a pretty solid episode and an exciting start to the new Digimon Adventure reboot. We had the voice actor of Goku, Masako Nazawa, as the narrator introducing us to the world of the internet. I just find it so surreal that Goku is talking to us about technology instead of talking about fighting someone, so that made me smile. Izzy in this episode just showed why he's such a fan favorite character and probably will be the fan favorite character in this reboot series. As soon as he got introduced, he showed his humble side, bowing down to Tai and calling Tai by his second name and not his first name. And overall, throughout the episode, he was the brains behind everything. It was him who figured out that the enemy Digimon in this episode were behind the cyber attacks. And it was him who clocked on that, I think this is a key point here, depending on what part of the network, an evil Digimon can attack a specific point that then damages a specific part of the real world, like the train that was on loop this entire episode. He also communicated to Tai when Tai was in the internet world through the Digivice, when he received his Digivice. I love that. Finally, you can actually communicate through the Digivices instead of using it like a GPS. The Digivice is shaped like a phone, so you might as well use it like a phone as well. One little detail I like is that when Izzy called Tai's Digivice, Izzy's crest came up on Tai's Digivice, so I think in the future episodes it will be easier to tell who's calling who when the whole gang is eventually united. Greymon making his debut was awesome, and guys, it couldn't have just been me that was getting flashbacks of Greymon vs Parrotmon. It was like it was mimicked, shot by shot. In that moment when Tai calls out Greymon, you see a zoomed in camera angle of Greymon's eyes, exactly like the Digimon movie when Greymon first appeared when he was protecting Kari and Tai from Parrotmon. Even the way the enemy Digimon in this episode died was very similar to Parrotmon. Parrotmon took one big continuous Nova Flame and disappeared. The enemy Digimon took one big Mega Flame and disappeared, the same fashion as Parrotmon did. So I like those similarities between the two fight scenes there. It looks like the crests within the Digivices can actually make the Digimon more stronger when the battle goes on for longer, which is what I like to see because in the original season, I felt like the Digivices were made redundant ever since the crests got introduced. But having the crests embedded in the Digivice makes use of the Digivice as well. And the fact that you can actually communicate through the Digivices is a big boost. Guys, you have no idea how much that annoyed me, that they couldn't talk to each other through it. So it's like they finally got it right now. I need to talk about the music in this episode. When Tai and Izzy are in the train station and Tai jumps over the two barricades, the amazing orchestral music being played in the background for the next 2.5 minutes is absolutely solid, making the scene where Tai and Agumon meet for the first time feel grand and epic. In this episode, there are no bad points. I loved every minute of this episode. The pacing, the action, the simple story throughout the episode, all was good for me, so there are no bad or ugly points for me in this episode. Let's hope it stays that way for the remaining episodes. The episode ends with Izzy telling Tai that the American military are under cyber attack by a Digimon. Doesn't that sound a little too familiar, guys? It's like Diaboromon's ghost has returned to be part of the plot of this story, but as Izzy was saying that, we see Matt and Garurumon. What are they doing here? Do him and Tai know each other, or is this the first time they are meeting each other? So many questions already and I can't wait for the next episode. Anyway guys, let me know what you thought of the episode. Comment down below and as always, care for nothing.